Three, two, one. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie Hangout. Well, the first episode of the long awaited season two of one of my favorite series has just finished, and that is season two, episode one of The Last Drive In, starring the one and only, the iconic, the coolest cat out there, Joe Bob Briggs. If you have seen my other video I did about his traveling show called How Rednecks Save Hollywood, I'm going to link it to this one so you can check out just a little snippet of when I went to it was the Egyptian Theater in Los Angeles, and it was packed, standing room only. Everybody was giving a standing ovation to Joe Bob. It was just the coolest thing ever. Well, the first episode I just finished, so I'm just going to do a quick recap of it. Here's Joe Bob's Twitter. I would highly advise for you to follow him on here. It's the best way to keep in touch with him. I messaged him when he had like maybe 12,000 followers. This was like, this had to have been about 4 or 5 years ago. And I remembered him. I didn't even know if this really was him because it's not verified. And I just direct messaged him, and he just direct messaged me back. And he's like, hey, give me your email so I can sign you up for my newsletter. And that's how it all started. And I was like, dude, you need to come back and do another Monster Vision type of horror movie show where you host. And enough people, I guess, felt the same way I did. There was a groundswell of just horror fans across the world. And here he's back on Shudder. So, and if you haven't taken advantage of the 30-day free trial of Shudder, you got to. I think the coupon code is shut in because we're all shut in during the coronavirus. And I'm not getting paid to say that. I just want to do that because it's just so much fun to take part in things that other people are, at the same time, because we can't go out and go to events. So there's online events to go to. So this past Friday, there was a live stream event, and there's going to be another live stream event this coming Friday as well. So the two movies that he did was Chopping Mall. I always get that wrong. Chopping Mall and Blood-Sucking Freaks. So here's Joe Bob's Twitter right here. And let's see, there's Darcy the mail girl. Except she's not Darcy the mail girl. She's Darcy the social media email girl. And so definitely follow that. And then for the first movie, Chopping Mall, he actually had the lead actress, Kelly Maroney, and she was absolutely fantastic. She had such a great way about her, fantastic personality. This is her right there. And these are the four movies that she's been in. You've probably heard of it. One is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That is a high school stoner movie classic. Pretty much is like the staple for that entire genre. It kind of like made that genre happen. Another one is Night of the Comet, which you haven't seen that. It's a classic 80s sci-fi horror, kind of a post-apocalyptic movie. Really good. And then another movie, The Zero Boys, which I have not seen yet, but I probably will. Kelly was fantastic. And so I'm just going to do some quick facts about Chopping Mall here. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah. So Chopping Mall came out in 1986, and basically it's a really simple story. So it's only 76 minutes, which I think is perfect because I get tired of like hour and a half, 2 hour movies. I mean, let's just cut to the chase. We all want to see just kill scenes. We all want to see like crazy practical effects because that's what the 80s is known for. And the whole plot of this movie is there's like a high-tech company and they make security robots. And so this mall here in California, it actually was supposed to take place at the Beverly Center, but the Beverly Center wanted like tons of money and a bunch of permits. Well, a little bunch of horror movies that they ain't got any money. So they ended up shooting it in Sherman Oaks at that mall. So it's like this really big mall. They end up getting these three security robots, and the robots get struck by lightning. And it just so happens the same evening that they malfunction, a bunch of teenagers that work at the mall end up hiding in one of the stores, and they end up drinking and having a big party. and the killer robots go after him, and people get killed, and it's got the greatest exploding head scene that you'll ever see. So if you want to check that out, I definitely would suggest it. It's kind of like a more adult version of Stranger Things when they were inside the mall, except there's killer robots running around, and it is just hilarious and it is awesome. It's also got a lot of throwbacks and callbacks to Roger Corman movies, so I would definitely check that out. And the next one is this really weird movie. It's an exploitation splatter film. I really was not that into it, but I think a lot of people will like it that are hardcore horror fans, and that is Blood Sucking Freaks. That movie came out in 1976. It's a little longer than the Chopping Mall. It's 91 minutes. Directed by Joel M. Reed. And one of the things that I love the most of this movie, I mean, it's an exploitation movie. It's just women, scantily clad, and then there's a lot of blood and guts and stuff. But what was really cool was who was the co-host. So the co-host of that particular episode, and let me get to him here, is none other than this dude right here, Chris Jericho. So Chris Jericho, and I guess apparently he's a huge closet horror fan. So he ended up showing up and was co-host with Joe Bob, and he actually did a Blood-Sucking Freaks horror metal music video with Joe Bob right on the set there. It was fantastic, really, really great. I would check that out. And I haven't been a big wrestling fan like in the last 15, 20 years, but he has a really great personality. I got to give it to him. And he was really, really entertaining and really cool and down to earth as well. So that was cool. So hopefully Joe Bob can exploit that connection to professional wrestling, and maybe next week they'll get somebody else. It'd be super cool if they had like Hulk Hogan, or any of these other crazy characters that were in classic wrestling. Well, that's my recap of episode 1, season 2 of Joe Bob's The Last Drive-In. I would highly, highly suggest you signing up for it. And if I could give it a review, let me see here. So I would give this review out of 10 killer robots. I would give this probably a 7.5 out of 10 killer robots, because I think the potential for this later on this season, we're going to be hitting 8s, 9s, and 10s. So we'll see. But anyways, if you want to get future rants, reviews, or original content, click subscribe. Thanks for watching.